Hello everyone. Good evening. This is my favourite Masterclass so far because I get to do it with my best mate.
You're so professional.
This is Jess Robinson.
Hello. I'm walking across to make it official that I'm here.
Officially here. Hello, nice to meet you and welcome to the Sing Space. For those who don't know me, this is the Sing Space. I am vocal coach Rachel Lynes, and tonight we're going to be doing a masterclass looking at mimicry as inspiration. Jess she has been on many TV shows you might have seen. She has an award-winning sell-out show which has been touring and has been wowing Edinburgh for the past 3 years. And she is also sole mama to my children.
Hooray!
Who she's trained like little monkeys to call her Jessie Darling. That's just her name now. She is also fabulously, annoyingly talented. She's going to sing for you in a minute. Then we're going to look at how she does it. And we're going to try and apply it to your singing voices. So by the end of this evening, you can all do the same thing. There'll be 40 shows on at Edinburgh this year of singing impressionists. We'll try our best. I think now I'm going to press play on your backing track.
Okay, so all right. So yes, I started doing mimicry officially. Not just of my mum, when I played Little Voice for the first time, and this is one of the songs I learned to do. It's Judy, Garland and Barbara Streisand. They sang this beautiful duet together in the 60s, and good luck everybody. Turn up a bit, Rach. Turn up a little bit. Happy days are here again. The sky above is clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. Take it, Judy. Oh, thank you very much. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You gotta chase all your cares away. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. All together, shout it now. There's no one who can doubt it now. I love your voice, thank you. So let's sing a song, so much that I hate you. About it now, I'll take it as a compliment. Happy days are here again. We're heading across the river. Soon your cares will all be gone. There'll be no more from now on. From now on, forget your troubles, happy days, and just get happier here again. You've gotta chase the sky above, your blues away, I'll clear again. Shout hallelujah, so sing a song, and just get happy of cheer again. Happy times, happy minds, happy days are here again.
shall we do a little bit of talking about what we're going to do today
Yes.
to get you singing like that? What does make an exceptional singer? One of the world's greatest singers. Okay, so I've got notes here because I'll keep this quick, don't want to ramble. I think the last time we were on stage together was in Sweet Charity at Tring when we were 16, and Jess told me to go on stage. She said, let's both go on stage with our ears sticking out of our costume like this. It'd be really funny. We're wearing headscarves, and she said, let's both stick our ears out. And she's like, let's both do it, it'll be really good. And then I got on stage and Jess wasn't doing it.
Tuck mine in.
It's only me. Don't know why we're still friends.
I couldn't do any of the scene because I was laughing so much.
Yeah, so what makes an exceptional singer? There are two parts to the singer. I would say their instrument and their technique or their mastery. So take a violin, and even in the hands of an exceptional player, a £20 violin is going to sound insignificant next to one that's worth £500,000. So it's the same as a starting point with us. We all have different size larynxes, different types of vocal cords, but what we can do here today is change the way we master our voices, and tonight we're going to do this via mimicry.
Yeah.
And theoretically, I think this could change everything because of a wonderful little word that I learned when I was researching this called audiation. Audiation.
What does that mean?
Has anyone heard that word before? No, so it's very exciting, right? Do this for me. La la la. La la la. Ooh. Woo. Whack whack whack. Whack whack whack. Meow. Meow. Whoa whoa whoa. Whoa whoa whoa. Hey hey. Great. Amazing. So to do those sounds, you were massively and in a nuanced way affecting your own vocal system just then, which is made up of hundreds of different muscles, and just like that, you did it, which is kind of awesome, okay? So just by listening to me, you were changing your jaw position, your tongue position, you were feeling resonance in different ways even though you didn't know it, you were tilting your thyroid cartilage one way, your cricoid back, you were changing your formants and your sympathetic resonance and your harmonics and all these words that we don't need to know. All these loads of things. You were lengthening your vocal cords and you were fattening them. You were sometimes doing it with more tilt than others. You were doing all sorts of wonderful things in very, very brilliant ways on each of those little sounds you did. And it was easy, right? Which shows that audiation is very clever and very magical, and it motivates muscular action in exactly the same way as if I just said to Jess, put your hand in the air, your brain would tell you to do it. You didn't have to think about it. So, it's a part of your brain, sound, singing, which is a different part of your brain than the place that houses language. And we know that because there are lots of tales of people with dementia who are holding song memories far past when they've got the cognitive lucidity there. And that's so we know this. So doesn't it follow that if you can do this with just that you can actually listen and let that part of your brain audiate, let that part of your brain tell the other parts of your vocal system what to do and to fall into place. And you can listen to your very favourite singers and then just sound just like them, like that. So done, right? We're all done. Now, we do have to take into account a couple of things. The first is the instrument, as we said, that everyone does have a slightly different instrument, so we can't promise everything. The other one is your focus and commitment to your audiation. So imagine if self-consciousness gets involved, or that little part of the language part of your brain, which is different from your audiation part of your brain, your inner ear part, the part that you hear your melodies with. You know, we can all hear songs in our heads. It's different from language, but if that language part starts going, I can't do this, I feel silly, I'm not going to hit the notes, then it's going to interfere with what audiation can do. But it's also going to potentially tense things up and stop you breathing. So, my theory about Jess is that first of all, she has a stonking great instrument. But the second part is that being an actress and a comedian and someone with less self-consciousness than anyone I've ever met on this planet, she is a master of the powers of audiation. My theory is that your inner ear is taking over and telling all the muscles to do things in a way that we can't fully break down and will never quite understand. And that isn't actually me wimping out of being a vocal coach today, because I'm going to try and do both. So we're going to audiate, but as a geek, vocal geek and a coach, I'm going to try and explain what's happening. Now, one thing that all vocal coaches agree on is that there are infinite ways to make the same sound. I can't tell you how to sing like Jessie J, but we can look at someone like Jessie J, and we can try and look at how Jessie J does the things that she does to get the notes that she can. And so using audiation and vocal geekery, we're going to have a look at this, and we're going to base it on a little methodology that I have that people who know me know well, which is the 6 fundamentals of singing. So I try to make things less complicated. So a lot of what we're going to look at today is basically saying these are the things that need to happen to make your instrument in its optimum place. So I'm not going to go into them now, but as we talk, we're going to try and focus on some of these areas and see how we can change them. All right, so we're going to start off, I think, with learning the song Shallow as a group. So we've got some lyrics for you. And then we're going to try it with lots of different voices.
This is really amazing for me because, first of all, Rachel, that was better than the wedding speech you did for me a couple of weeks ago. But also, when I sing, like I was trained to grade 8 in a sort of a classical way, but I have absolutely no idea about larynx and tilting and adduction, and I know what a tongue is, that's about where it stops. So this is really interesting for me as well because I don't quite know how I do it, so it's really interesting to hear Rachel breaking it down. All I know is that if it hurts, it's wrong. Which is a good lesson for life, I think.
But that is also true, because if it hurts, it is wrong, and if it doesn't hurt, it's pretty likely it's going to be right. If it doesn't hurt, if it feels good and it sounds good, you're doing it good. That's how easy singing is, really.
When I think of Lady Gaga, she's very deadpan, and it's tell me something, boy, aren't you? It's sometimes she reminds me a little bit of a robot. And a sat-nav, cause she's very the same. She's like a robot or a computer. Do you know what I mean? There's something quite... Yeah. So what am I doing there? It feels very chesty.
She's doing a really continuous adduction, so her chords are staying together the whole way through, aren't they? They're never getting breathy like that. No. She's right on voice. Yeah. And it's as if you can imagine that she's doing a kind of a noise under it, like, almost underneath it.
Yeah, there's like a zzz, there's like a resonance of like a pedal note.
Something. She's also not really doing a whole lot of, she's quite relaxed with everything. So her jaw is going to be kind of almost down there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's fixed into one place and it stays there. But I think I can feel the adduction happening at that top end of the tilt. So if you feel, that gets the chords together. The chords together is not something that is tense or stressful. It's if everything else stays loose. The tummy's going, which means that there's...
And you're squeezing your bum cheeks.
Yeah.
It's like you need to fart, but don't let it out.
How many of you were thinking about, how do I do that? What did she just say about that placement thing? I don't know what to do there. I'm putting my consonants down. What accent am I doing? Okay, so we've kind of talked about what is happening, but there's no way right now mentioning all those things at you that it's going to happen, right? It's like I just say, like, spin some plates while hopping on one leg and speak French and do all these things at once. So all we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what's happening, break it down, but we're going to really focus on this magic audiation thing. Because I believe in it. I mean, we have proven it, haven't we? You are singing these notes. How are you knowing to sing these notes? In every single one of these notes, your vocal cords are a different length. They're changing, they're lengthening and they're thickening. And every one of these vowels, you're changing every bit of your mouth, your tongue, and every of these consonants you're using things, you're not making that happen, or like you're not telling that to happen. It's happening automatically because of this really clever area of the brain, the one that hears music, that we're going to work with today. So this time, do it one more time. Focus in on Jess's voice. And just see if you can hear what's happening and follow your ear rather than following this kind of rabbity conscious mind. Does that make sense? So you're going to try and hear it a second before you do it.
As a feeling, I'd say I'm hardly moving my mouth. I'm feeling tired and a bit world weary.
I think it's kind of like a driving energy. It's forward. It is. I get that. But it's also. It's got this like, oh, I'm really fed up kind of to it.
But with a focus.
But with a focus.
Yeah.
Good. Did you notice she did a low under there? Ham, basically you sung ham, but also started a few notes under than where it was. You're basically singing ham off the deep. There's a lot of funny sounds going on. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. Did you see how Jess was using her body so much? All of these people, they really, really use their bodies. I think we underestimate how athletic singing is and how much we need to work out and get stamina for it, which is why it's boring sometimes to do the warm-ups, but it's why I keep saying you've got to do these things every day so that you're consistently working them like you would if you went to the gym.
All because of the man that got away.
There's a thought I had about all of these people, that they are all releasing emotions as they sing. They all sound like there's like a or a or a but it sounds like they're there's something, all of them.
It's a bit of pain, isn't there?
A bit of pain. They all sound like there's a lot of pain that we're going to have to channel today. And I think that we're all a bit polite with our singing often. And I think we need to find these primal undertones that are going to connect the breath and the body. And you can hear it in you, Judy. So let's do the beginning bit. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired of trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? Her tongue is quite wide and retracted at the back here.
Right.
Quite flattened. It's almost pushing her larynx down, which is making it sound lower.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, it's pushing your larynx down. So
A little bit Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
But only a touch.
Because it's not, can you imagine? Night is bitter, night, night. Tongue up, try night with your tongue up. Night. Try it with your tongue pressing down. Night. Yeah, you hear the whole room. Now try and widen the back of your tongue. Night. So almost imagine, overdo it and do a bit of a Kermit the Frog kind of. Night, da, da. Can you hear that?
Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun.
We should definitely take it up.
Yes.
No tones.
Yes,
now.
I think so.
Not
too.
not too.
Start at the very beginning. Oh, tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired of trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
She's very, very hardworking. So she hits every single one of her consonants. Every single one. But almost everyone has an H before it. So we hit every single one.
Yes.
So, tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? Yeah. Now the other thing, she doesn't just hit her consonants, she also hits her vowels. So she has this perfect little, she hits the consonants, but she sings completely on the vowels and she never comes off them. So she's going through the flow of the phrase, she never lets go of her vowels.
I'm tired of trying to fill that void.
Yeah, So dig into every single vowel that you find to get loads of H's.
I'm for, and the little scoop helps.
Yes, she's scooping.
I'm falling. She's ever so over the hill and over the hills and down the valleys.
See, in the olden days, the people who spoke RP, received pronunciation, used to, there was a mix in the cadence of the voice, used to go all over the place.
Yes.
You could hear that sometimes you watch a Julie Andrews film and it's going up and then down and
Very down.
And so I think that was a good practicing for her singing.
Yes.
From the shallow now. Oh, far from the shallow now is very nice to do in her voice.
Do you know
isn't
what?
it?
I often find I run out of breath when I do Julie, and now I know why, because of all the H's. It helps you stay in the zone as well. A little impressionist hook. You know, when you're doing an impression, it's good to have like a little hook that helps you get into it. Like if I'm doing Lorraine Kelly, I'll go ooh no, or so for Julie Andrews it's ooh, and it just ooh gets you into it.
So we say we're placing the resonance here, but she's got a lower sound that comes in, which is her scoops. So
It's really gentle though. It's sort of breathy at the same time. It's not an but it's more of an It's like a breathy siren, isn't it?
I think it's noting that within your voice, that you can have one really strong sound, but it's okay if you balance it with another. So if Adele does this as well. So if Ariana Grande has like a in there, but if she also has a like a wah, wah underneath it, so she puts the wah, wah, you get them both together, and it balances out like it's a really interesting sound she's got in her voice. And what that sound is, techie vocal geek stuff here now. It is proof of, it's just basic proof of her chord positions. You can hear, if you can feel your resonance really there, your chords are in a very lengthened, tilted way, and they're coming together really well. That is proof of it. You can only feel it there if that has happened. So she's getting the high notes because of that. The feeling that is proof that all of her vocal apparatus is in the right place for high singing. But she's managing to balance it with this lovely other thing that she's putting underneath it, because she doesn't sound just like that, does she? She has got an awesome voice in that.
Out on the winding, windy moors we roll and fall in.
2, 3, and
I'm off the deep end, watch as I'm diving. I'll never be back round.
what's your noise to get in there?
Wow! One of those.
She's very at the front of her mouth,
Do you get to do?
like a cat.
I mean, for the musical theatre people, she's definitely using what we're saying. She's using a middle voice, a kind of thin fold voice. Yeah, but then she occasionally goes down. Yeah.
It's like a sort of thin opera singer and then very opera. Like that. She's very dramatic,
Like
isn't
a
she?
child singing opera.
Yeah. You know how Julie goes, one?
Yeah.
I think Kate Bush would rather approach it from high above. So she goes, one.
Doing it, but lengthens your vocal cords really long. Lengthening helps you get the high note. So when you get to the note there, it feels lower. So instead of just reaching for it, you've gone right above it and then you land on it.
If I do it in slow motion, it would go, I'm off the deep end.
Good.
Watch. Before
Good.
nearly every note, isn't
You've got
it?
an H before it as well.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just audiate, close our eyes and copy Jess. Do those 2 phrases and then we'll come in straight after you.
Okay.
2, 3.
I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in.
Everyone.
I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in.
Oh, that's so good! A choir of Kate.
Summertime and living with me.
Watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the the shallow now.
Yeah. So while what's really going to be hopefully helpful to you is to note which of these sounds felt easier. So we're basically exploring, you think the voice that you're singing with is your authentic voice. We all do. But I would hazard a guess that most people, I would say, are using their habitual voice. So it's circumstantial, it's the accents you grew up with, it's a bit of your personality and stuff. But actually, if we just took your larynx and your vocal cords and we passed air through, and you'd never made that sound before, there might be a truer sound in there that you haven't found yet. So what you think is your voice might be one with some habits that are making it sound different. Now, by approaching this whole spectrum of impressions, we're pushing the tongue into all sorts of positions, your resonance into positions. We're using loads of air, and we're using our emotions, we're using our physicality, and you're actually exploring how far you can go. And then you can find the balance and the authentic voice that is yours, but you can't find it until you've traveled to other places. It's like not knowing where you want to be until you've explored a little bit first.
Only love can hurt like this. Sweet lullaby.
What is that? Wah, 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 wah. A bit like a foghorn. Or like one of those World War II. Wah, the Blitz.
So when you hear those bright tones, it means the vocal tract's gone very wide. Basically the sound vibrations you've made, when it's that kind of space in your mouth, they sound more classical and round, and when it's like that, you get more of the twang. And you can hear that on her, can't you?
Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now.
Let's just shout out for voices. Let's just shout out voices and go through it. Who's next?
Julie.
Judy. Yes.
I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never reach the ground. Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now.
And let's have Marilyn's on bottom and Lily Allen's on top.
Okay.
In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
And let's have gargles for the woes.
Oh, oh. We're far from the shallow now.